My name is Darren Ryder, and I'll be your teacher for your US or your AP US History course this try. Now, as we go through, we're going to go through about 8 to 10 minutes together on this video and kind of walk through some tips and tricks and kind of walk you through what the course looks like. Now, before we do that, I want to introduce myself a little bit, and this is my buddy Bentley. He is going to work with me most of the days, other than when I'm in the buildings. But this is him. He sits right next to me, usually in his donut snuggler, usually sleeping too. But that's what he's got. Now, this is my family here. So this is me in the red shirt. Again, my name is Darren Ryder. I've been teaching for 28 years. Now, the last 4 have been at Sowashko Online. So we have a little bit of experience in this field, but this was new. We started this 4 years ago, and I came with that crew that helped start the online school. So a little bit of experience. Hopefully that helps us with our APUSH course. Now, to my right in the picture is my wife, Penny. We just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary this summer, so that was great. That's a good milestone to reach. Now, on my left in the picture, and we'll start on the right, this is my daughter, Maddie. She's 20 years old. She's at the University of St. Thomas right now. She's going to graduate a year early, so she'll graduate at the end of this year, and then she passed her DAT already, so she's hoping to hear from dental schools during our school year. This is my son Tyler in the black shirt. He's a freshman at University of Wisconsin Parkside, so we just dropped him off this year for his first experience, so we'll see how that goes for him. And then on the far left of the picture, that's Macy. She's 16 years old. She's a junior at Prescott High School, and she's a golfer and a dancer, so I get to still at least hang out with her at home. The other 2 have left me, but they're on to some pretty cool adventures, so it'll be cool to kind of hear how they do there too. So that's a little bit about myself. Now for the course. Now right above where it says teacher contact and office hour information, you're going to see a little video up there. And that video is what we call the Monday morning message. So sometimes I send it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but by Monday for sure, I send this message, and you'll get a video message and you'll also get a Schoology message. And that just kind of lays out the week for us, tells us what we have, goes through our course calendar, which I'll show you in a second, and kind of just smooths over any trouble spots that people might be having in assignments for that week too. So you'll see that right up there. You get that every single week. Then you see in this folder the teacher contact and office hour information. So you got my name, my email, my phone number, and then at this bottom is mostly what students will use. Now feel free to use my email for sure. Schoology message works great. Office hours work great too. Biggest thing is, if you are having troubles in the course, let's get it taken care of right away. Don't push it off because it doesn't go away, right? We might as well get it, figure it out, and get you going and get you started in the course. Now, with the office hours, now again, I said Schoology email or office hours. Office hours are you need questions, you want to meet with me quick. I come into schools quite a bit. I try to go in at least once a week, but if I'm not in schools that day or we're missing each other at schools, office hours are good because you can come in. We have a Teams link right here. That's what we would use to meet. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes a half hour. It takes what it takes, right? My job is to make sure that you have everything that you need for the course. Your job as a student, ask questions if you're having troubles, right? Because we want to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful. And so those are all right there. So you have Schoology, email message, office hours, phone call, whatever we got to do, let's get you caught up. Now, that's our contact info. Now, the next folder we have is our orientation information. Now, as you go into this is where you're going to start because you have your orientation for Sowashko Online. All students have to do this. Then you have your Welcome to Sowashko Online letter. You have your Intro to APUSH video. That's the one you're watching right now. You have my bio. You have your course syllabus, which it's pretty extensive when you're talking about APUSH, right? And you'll notice like when we go into this course syllabus, it talks about different things we need. The May, our history course and exam description, our syllabus. It says you need the American Pageant, the 17th edition. Now we have a little different. So going through all of our research, what I found is our district has the 14th edition. And so my strong suggestion is this. All of the information is the exact same. The page numbers are a little bit off, but if they're saying chapter 17, it might be chapter 16, okay, in our book here. And so what you want to do is you want to work off the headings, and I'll kind of show you that in a little bit here, but you work off the headings to find it in the book, and once you have that, it's super easy. And if you struggle with that at all, let me know and I'll get you to the right place, okay? So that's our orientation information. You have everything in there, including our syllabus and our textbook, or not our textbook yet, but you see what textbook we need on there. Okay, now our resource folder, you will actually get your textbook in here. Okay, right on the top, you have your American Pageant textbook. Now, if you don't want to go to the library and grab one of these, I also have them linked on here so that you have access to that book. Most people want the hard copy. You can actually go without the book because you're going to see that I'm going to be giving you things for AP College Board, AP Classroom, all that kind of stuff too, that kind of gets you some additional resources to help you in your process of the APUSH world here. So our resource folder, we said we got our American Pageant textbook. We got online tools, getting started, tech support, how to text-to-speech extension, our handbook, our absence reporting, pass no credit form. So it has everything that you need right in that resources too. The most important probably though for you is going to be the textbook, making sure that you have access to that. Now where you'll spend most of your time is in this current folder then. Now as you're going through the APUSH course, you're going to see at the top we have this work completion dates. Now, no matter what trimester you're in, it'll look similar to this. The dates may be a little different, but it'll look similar. So for here it says first week, SoWashco Online Orientation to Mod 1, England Plants Its Roots in America quiz. All right, so we got that. Now you'll notice in our calendar we've got it laid out for the year, and then we notice this last week is empty. Now that last week is empty on purpose because you have your Mod 3 exam the week before, and we leave that last week, it's really only a couple days, but we leave that open to help people with work completion, making sure they have their grades to where they need it to be, making sure they had enough time to finish everything they need, and then more importantly, making sure that I had time to grade that stuff and grade it with quality effort too. Now, as you go in and look then in your current folder, you'll notice that we have 3 modules. Now here's how they work. Now everything in blue with these little up arrows, those are what I call mini units. Now these mini units are usually followed by a short quiz. So mini unit, short quiz. Okay, mini unit, short quiz. Now you did see right here this DBQ prep, England Plants Its Roots in America. We'll talk about that writing piece in just a little bit here. But as you go into these mini units, here's what you see. You're going to have, and this one has 5 different slides. So you notice that you have some notes in there, getting started, you have your vocabulary, you have your read your textbook, and it says American Pageant, Chapter 1, now the shaping of North America. So as I go through, I go, okay, it's talking about having to shape North America, right? And so as I'm going through there, I would want to find in my book then, okay, I would want to find where they're talking about shaping North America, and I would want to link those pages, make sure that I have them, and you'll notice that they have right at the beginning of this chapter 1, so this chapter is the same, it has shaping North America. And so it has the same pages, same information, it just might be a little different as far as the chapter goes. A lot of them will match, some of them will not though. If you have problems, definitely let me know. Now it's going to ask you if you're using 16 or 17. It doesn't really matter as long as you're able to match there. Okay, now you watch some videos, it has some note-taking templates, stuff like that, and then you'll notice it has a little crossword puzzle at the end. So each of these mini units are set up for your understanding. So they're just breaking down big chunks of information into these little mini units, testing you with the quiz at the end. Now these quizzes are set up, they are in the summatives. Now, all of these short mini unit quizzes though, those are set up for multiple attempts. So we use those as learning tools. You're using those. If you get them wrong, you get them wrong. You go back in, you fix them, you see where you had them wrong, what you had wrong, and you just make sure you make the adjustments that you need to. Now, you will have different parts of writing in here. You'll have your LEQs, you'll have your DBQs, you'll have your SAQs. Now, this is that writing piece of APUSH that is so important. And you're going to see that as we get going in the class, I'm going to encourage you to get some groups at your schools. I'm going to encourage you to sign up for AP Classroom. I'm going to encourage you to do all these things to help you with the rigor of APUSH. Now, with the DBQ stuff, That's our writing piece, and we usually have at least one writing assignment a week. Now, the one thing that we want on those is, you see that this is due September 7th, is I'm going to start closing those 2 weeks after. And here's the reason why. I'm going to start closing that on September 21st completely. If you're not done at that point, we're closing it. And here's why. If you're keeping up even close to our calendar, 2 weeks is pretty, giving you a little bit of leeway there, right? This is an AP course. These are rigorous. You doing this writing in late November does us no good if we're not studying that topic anymore. And so for you to have this DBQ on England plants its roots in America, we might be studying the Civil War at that time. So that's not a good connection or a good correlation to have between the two. So we don't want to push that writing off, because the writing is an important piece of APUSH, and the feedback that you get from me hopefully is valuable. We want to continually get better at our writing, and so that feedback is so important. If you're getting my feedback the last 2 weeks of the trimester on writing pieces that were from the start of the tri, that doesn't do us a whole heck of a lot of good. So that's why you're going to see those close permanently 2 weeks after. So any of the writing, not the mini unit stuff like that, there's still value in all that. Going through, especially some people will use that as review stuff as they work toward their final exams and stuff. And so we leave those open. It's that writing piece that we want to make sure that we're taking care of within that 2 week time period. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I'll kind of stress that numerous times throughout the course. So if you're sitting there going, I don't know exactly what he's talking about yet, you will as we go through the course then. All right, so then you're seeing mini unit, short quiz, intro to short answer questions. You're going to get some of those with stuff like SAQs. And so you're going to get kind of walkthroughs at the start, and it'll walk you through how to sign up for College Board, how to sign up, or how to organize your DBQs, your SAQs, your LAQs. So the curriculum that we have does a nice job laying that out for us. So you have all of that in here, and again, all of these mini units are multiple attempts as far as the quizzes go, but then at the end you have this Mod 1 exam. Now the exams are set up for only one attempt. So all the mini unit quizzes set up for multiple, but the exams are set up for one. Okay, so just make sure that you know the difference between the two. So you can see as we go into each mod, they're quite extensive. We only have 3 modules for a 13-week trimester, so it tells you you roughly work through a module per month. Now, in that module though, tons of writing. And so that's the part that's going to take a lot of time. And it's always impressive for me to see the improvement that students make in the writing from the start to the end. And like last year we had over 82% success rate on the AP test. And so that's a really high success rate as far as passing goes for that test. So pretty proud of that. But our students work especially hard in order to get there. And so hopefully this kind of sets you up for success, this video, and kind of walks you through some of the trouble spots. But remember, mini unit, short quiz. There will be writing in the middle. In the meantime, you're going to be going through AP Classroom. You're going to be going through some of those lessons, some of those videos. I send you a bunch of links of different unit-like recaps where different teachers, different students are going through the units and putting it in ways that hopefully help you understand better, while we also focus on that writing piece too, which is so important. So we have a lot going on when we talk about APUSH, but hopefully everything on my end is super organized, and I'll lay everything out for you to help you through this process. But if you're struggling, reach out right away. Let's get you rolling. Let's have a great trimester, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you.